U.S. Colonel McGregor states that game is over for Zelensky, and that Zelensky will cede territory of Ukraine and fall prey to Ukrainian nationalists. We know that most of Ukraine is in the dark already. Over 50% of their power grid is down. McGregor says, and as many Ukrainians are forced to flee the country due to power problems, this could turn into a new migration blow for the European Union. Of course it will. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's impasse will sooner or later lead him to either military defeat or serious concessions to Moscow, which will enrage nationalists, Colonel McGregor says. He's a former advisor to the Pentagon chief, and that's what he said in an interview with Freedom. According to him, Zelensky will strictly follow the instructions from the White House, and the moment will come when he will be told that the game is over and that it's time to come to terms with reality. Negotiations will be necessary, and as a result, Kiev, Ukraine that is, will inevitably have to make territorial concessions, McGregor said. There is an opinion that by accepting these terms, Zelensky will become a victim of radical nationalists. I believe this is very likely. I can't know for sure, but what would be an obvious outcome? That would be an obvious outcome, he believes. The colonel emphasized that Ukraine is on the verge of collapse, and since many Ukrainians are being forced to leave the country due to problems with electricity supply, water and food and everything else, this could turn into a new migration blow for the European Union, he said. At the same time, according to McGregor, the Russian armed forces have impressive capabilities in terms of firepower and flexibility. And anti-Russian sanctions, the colonel noted, are affecting Europeans more negatively, which together speaks to the need to put an end to this as soon as possible. So, catapult McGregor, former U.S. colonel, ruthless Ukrainians are going against their own civilians. Retired U.S. Army Colonel McGregor criticized the actions of the armed forces of Ukraine. In a previous post, he accused them of going against their own civilian infrastructures in Donbass. In an interview with Grey Zone, he says the Russians do not seek to harm civilians, but there's a lot of evidence from the other side how HIMARS were used against Donetsk and Lugansk and Crimea. The military explained the Russians' military actions are prudent and meticulous, McGregor said. I was director of the Allied Operations Center in the Kosovo campaign. There we had taken the attacks too far, and now Russia, on the contrary, is doing very little to destroy, he said. On November 16, McGregor, in an interview with Fox News, said that the Europeans are trying to send money. They're tired of sending money and equipment to the Ukraine black hole. That's how he reacted to Pentagon Chief Austin's plans to meet with the leaders of 50 countries in order to get additional funding from them for Kiev. Wall Street Journal, U.S. Senator asked Biden to move attack drones to Ukraine. At the same time, several U.S. congressional senators are calling on President Joe Biden administration to reconsider its decision to supply Ukraine with MQ-1C Grey Eagle drones and instead provide UAVs to Ukraine authorities, according to Wall Street Journal. According to a newspaper, a group of 16 senators sent a letter to the head of the Pentagon, Lloyd Austin, in which in particular they said that the long-term benefit of carrying the MQ-1C is significant, and the procurement of such equipment has the potential to change the strategic course of the war in favor of Ukraine. Earlier, CNN reported the United States is considering making changes to the MQ-1C Grey Eagle, which can be equipped with AGM-114 Hellfire missiles and stay in the air for more than a day for possible transfer to Kiev. At the same time, it was noted that the considered modifications of these drones require a lot of time and are quite technically complex. Additionally, the Wall Street Journal previously reported that Washington is skeptical of transferring modern UAVs to Kiev due to concerns about escalating tensions with Russia. This is from Banking News Greece. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.